Welcome to KGN Caribbean News. I'm Karesha Graham. Here's what's making headlines in this week's Caribbean Crime Watch. A 14-year-old girl visiting Jamaica for the summer has been brutally killed at her home in Prospect, St. Thomas. Police say the teen, who was staying with her father, a law enforcement officer, was attacked by a man who broke into the home. Despite being injured, she managed to alert her father before collapsing. She later died at the hospital. The suspect, reportedly armed with a machete, was shot and killed during a confrontation with police. A deadly 24 hours in Trinidad and Tobago has sparked renewed concern as four people, including a teenage boy and a woman, were gunned down in separate incidents across the country. In Belmont, a 14-year-old was shot and killed in broad daylight near a corner shop. Hours later, the body of a 34-year-old woman was found in the drain in Enterprise, Chiguanas, shot once in the back. Police were also called to Mitra, where one man was killed and another seriously injured in what appears to be a targeted hit. In Mervant, investigators are still piecing together the fourth murder in what's being called one of the bloodiest days in recent weeks. So far, no arrests have been made. In Grenada, police have charged a 22-year-old man with the murder of Kimani Phillip, who was fatally stabbed in St. George's. The case marks the island's seventh homicide this year and has sparked concern over rising violence in tight-knit communities. Investigators say the suspect was arrested without incident and are looking into possible accomplices. Residents say the recent uptick in violent confrontations is strengthening the calm Grenadians are used to. Two gold miners in Guyana are now facing murder charges after allegedly killing a co-worker at a remote mining site. Police say the fatal encounter may have stemmed from a personal dispute. In a separate case, a man is accused of killing his common-law partner before attempting suicide. He survived and is now in custody. The incidents have raised fresh concerns about domestic violence and the mental toll of life in isolated areas. Antiguan police ramped up stop and search operations last week, targeting illegal driving and drug possessions across the island. Several arrests were made for controlled substances, and multiple citations were issued for unlicensed vehicles. Law enforcement says the effort is part of a broader crackdown ahead of Carnival season. While some residents welcome the patrols, others say the approach risks alienating law-abiding citizens. And today's newscast is powered by Luxury Glam Onsley. So if you want your makeup, your hair, brows, or lashes on point, whether you're stepping out bold, bridal ready, or straight up boss babe vibes, Little One, the owner of Luxury Glam Onsley, got you covered. Trust me, this is where the glam magic happens. Hit up the number on your screen to book your glow up or catch all the info on Instagram on your screen. Let's check the political heartbeat of the Caribbean in this week's Politics Pulse. Grenada could soon drop the British monarch from its oath of allegiance. A new bill wants officials to swear loyalty to Grenada, not King Charles. Some say Parliament can make the change. Some say Parliament can make the change. Others insist it requires a public vote. The proposal could be tabled as soon as Emancipation Day. A Barbados MP says fixing democracy starts with fixing the system that runs it. Marsha Cattle believes public service failures are blocking real change, and until that is addressed, parliamentary reform won't mean much. She is also pushing for better support for constituency offices, including more funding and stronger oversight. And the message she's sending: if the foundation's broken, no reform will hold. A power struggle is brewing in Antigua's justice system. 3 dozen senators want a judge removed accused of breaking constitutional rules. They have taken the fight to the Constitutional Court, pushing for action that could shift how judicial power is checked. The court now has to decide, do the claims hold enough weight to take a judge off the bench? The Bahamas is one step closer to election season. As officials begin redrawing electoral lines, the Boundaries Commission is taking a hard look at population shifts to make sure voters are fairly represented. The review could lead to changes in several constituencies, potentially impacting who has the edge in 2026. A final report is expected next month, with both major parties watching closely. Election tensions are rising in Jamaica, with the opposition taking aim at government spending. PNP spokesperson Nikisha Burchell is accusing the GLP of using taxpayer money to push political messaging disguised as public service announcements. She says ministries are promoting the prime minister instead of focusing on real issues like unpaid public servants. The opposition is now calling for a full audit as the country heads into a campaign season. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi just wrapped up a 2 day visit to Trinidad and Tobago, his first official trip to the country. He was awarded the nation's highest honor, sparking both praise and pushback. While many celebrated the move as a win for diplomatic ties and diaspora pride, leaders from the Muslim community raised serious concerns, pointing to Modi's record on religious tolerance. Now the government is defending its decision, saying Trinidad and Tobago remains committed to inclusion for all. Guyana is turning to international strategy to defend its borders, hired help included. The government has contracted a United States lobbying firm to push back against Venezuela's escalating claims over the Essequibo region. Vice President Barata Jagdeo says it's a necessary move designed to build stronger ties with Washington and combat misinformation abroad. With tensions rising and elections on the horizon, Guyana is making its case on the global stage. Politics isn't just for politicians, it affects everyone. Keep watching KGN Caribbean News for the latest events as it unfolds across the region. Held across the Caribbean, governments are ramping up healthcare initiatives addressing gaps in prevention, infrastructure, and readiness as new challenges emerge. Guyana is pushing to put biodiversity front and center in global climate talks. President Ifran Ali says countries that protect forests like Guyana should be recognized and rewarded in international climate financing. He is backing a new global index to measure biodiversity impact and plans to host a major summit later this month. It's a bold move that could shift the climate debate, and Guyana wants to lead that charge. The Bahamian government is making big changes to its healthcare staffing, ending contracts with Cuban medical workers. Instead, those professionals will be brought under direct government payroll. A move health officials say is about greater control and compliance. The shift follows United States concerns over Cuba's labor practices, with fresh restrictions now in play. For now, new Cuban recruitment is paused as the Bahamas tries to balance diplomacy with its healthcare needs. Trinidad and Tobago is expanding access to primary healthcare in the East. Several clinics, including those in Rio Claro Beach and Valencia, have extended their operating hours to make it easier for residents to see a doctor without long wait times or travel. The move comes under the Eastern Regional Health Authority and is part of a broader effort to reduce pressure on major hospitals by strengthening community level care across the country. Jamaica is taking a step towards stronger rural healthcare with plans for a new facility in Brownstown, St. Anne. The Health Ministry confirmed last week that land has been identified and design work is in progress for a modern health center to serve the community and surrounding communities. The project aims to close the gap in access for North Coast residents and come as part of a nationwide infrastructure upgrade push led by Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton. In Grenada, national health conversations last week shifted towards prevention with a major fitness and wellness expo highlighting lifestyle as medicine. Held at the National Stadium, the event featured free health screenings, group exercise sessions, and wellness talks from local practitioners. The initiative, backed by the Ministry of Health, encourages Grenadians to take daily action on their physical and mental well being before health issues escalate. Barbados health officials are on high alert as measles cases surge across the region. While no outbreak has been confirmed locally, the Ministry of Health is ramping up vaccine awareness and monitoring following a regional spike that has seen over 7,000 cases and multiple deaths. The warning comes as school head into summer break with a push to get more children immunized before the new term starts. St. Vincent continues to mark Caribbean Public Health Day, a region wide effort to promote wellness and climate related health awareness. Officials are using the occasion to enforce community residents for issues like mosquito borne diseases and extreme heat, both expected to increase this season. It's part of a wider campaign to boost public health engagement from village to capital. In Antigua, a midweek health fair drew hundreds for free medical screenings, including blood pressure, glucose tests, and dental checks. The event held at the Cultural Center was part of a national push to promote early detection of chronic illness and make basic health services more accessible. Community turnout exceeded expectations, signaling a growing public demand for outreach programs. In Cuba, lawmakers are considering a groundbreaking bill that would let transgender citizens update their legal documents without surgery or a court order. The proposal is being celebrated by LGBTQ plus advocates who say it's a major step forward in equality, building on gains made since same-sex marriage was legalized in 2022. If passed, Cuba would join a small number of Latin American nations with self ID laws in place. This segment of KGN Caribbean News is sponsored by Belam Natural Skincare, a real Jamaican brand born from the founder's own skin struggles. If you're tired of dark spots, dry patches, or uneven skin tone, these handmade soaps could be your new best friend. They've got some killer combos like kojic acid with vitamin C, turmeric and sea moss, honey, and oats, all natural, all effective. Plus, they ship all across Jamaica, and here's the catch, they also ship internationally. So no matter where you are, you can get in on the glow. Order through the Instagram on your screen or WhatsApp the phone number, which is on your screen as well. Your skin, I go thank you. Take care of your skin, people. Here's what's happening in the Caribbean economy with this week's Island Market Watch. In Clarendon, Jamaica, MP Nesta Morgan is gearing up students for the new school year with a back to school assistance drive. The initiative offers grants for both high school and primary school students, along with book vouchers to help cover essential supplies. Students have until July 4th Students had until July 4th to apply with proof of enrollment for the upcoming academic year. The effort is part of a wider push to support education across the community just in time for September. A fresh chapter is baking in St. Kitts and Nevis as Charles Amori, a Swiss-trained entrepreneur, takes the family's legendary bakery to new heights. He's just launched a modern cafe in Frigate Bay, fusing decades of local tradition with global hospitality experience. With training from Europe and time in Michelin-starred kitchens, Amori plans to expand the brand not just through bread but through business. The move signals a bold shift for a heritage name now rising into a multi-generational vision for the future. Barbados started the year on strong footing with the economy growing 2.6% in the first quarter. Tourist arrivals from North America jumped by double digits, and hotel earnings reached levels not seen since the financial crash. With steady spending in construction and business services, economic momentum is holding. And while inflation sits just around 2%, officials say the outlook for the rest of 2025 remains balanced. Trinidad and Tobago continues to report low inflation with consumer prices rising just under 2% this year. The latest numbers show stable food costs and minimal movement in utility rates, keeping overall expenses in check for most families. Though growth has been modest, the government is pushing ahead with industrial and energy side investment to strengthen output. For now, consumers are enjoying a rare breather from sharp price hikes seen in prior years. Antigua and Barbuda's consumer price index eased to 4.3% in March, the lowest level in months. Transportation costs dropped by a sharp 11% and grocery prices dipped slightly too. But healthcare services and dining out remain high, driving core inflation to around 4.8%. Even with those pressures, officials say the trend is moving in the right direction and are calling it a sign of economic stabilization. Welcome to the KGN Sports Zone, where island athletes shine. Jamaica's Fraser McConnell continues to dominate the dirt, locking in another podium finish in the 2025 Rally X Series. He took second place in the Sweden leg of the tour, driving for OMSE Racing driving for OM driving for OMSE Racing and helping his team sweep all three podium spots. McConnell executed a strategic early joker lap, pushing hard in the final stretch and narrowly missing first. With momentum on his side, he is now gearing up for the next stop in Denmark, eyes on the championship title. St. Lucia's sprint queen Julian Alfred is back on the track facing her biggest test of the season. Fresh off an undefeated streak and a 10.75 finish in Stockholm, she'll line up against Olympic rival Shakari Richardson and Melissa Jefferson winning in a stock 100-meter final. With the World Championships just weeks away, this race could set the tone for who owns the track in 2025. Jamaica's sprint legend Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price is heading back to Tokyo, and this time it's personal. After a strong hard place finish at national trials, the 8-time world champ is set to compete on the global stage once again. For Fraser Price, it's a full circle moment returning to Japan where her international journey began nearly 2 decades ago. At 38, she's proven age is just a number and she's not quite done yet. Jamaica's Kishane Thompson turned heads, blasting through the finish line in 9.85 seconds to claim the men's 100-meter title. The 22-year-old left no doubt on the track, outpacing a stock field that included Britain's Darnell Hughes and America's Trayvon Bromell. It's a statement win, marking Thompson's fastest time this season and one of the sharpest performances in the world so far. With Paris just weeks away, all eyes are now on the young sprinter who's quickly becoming a major force in Jamaica's next sprint generation. Jamaica's junior squash team just served up a historic win, securing their first ever gold at the Caribbean Area Squash Championships. Team captain and vice captain dominated the girls' under 19 doubles final, defeating Barbados in straight sets. Trehan also took silver in singles, while Nalan Patti added a bronze, capping off Jamaica's strongest performances at the tournament to date. A golden breakthrough for Jamaican squash and momentum heading into the rest of the championships. Alazari Joseph turned up the heat in Grenada, snagging four big wickets on day one of the test match. He dismantled Australia's top order and shut down their momentum. The West Indies bowled them out for 286 and now hold the edge heading into day two. And now for our entertainment. Crowd energy was high in Central Park as Kes took over Summer Stage in New York City. The Trinidadian soca band, known for blending island rhythms with pop, reggae, and R&B, delivered a non-stop performance that had fans dancing from start to finish. With hits like Whatless and Hello, Hess brought a slice of the Caribbean to the heart of Manhattan. The concert was part of the city's annual Summer Stage series, celebrating music and culture around the world. For many in the crowd, it was more than just a show. It was a homecoming celebration of heritage and a reminder that soca is alive and thriving far beyond the islands. 15 years later, Bounty Killer made his triumphant return to the United States stage and Brooklyn showed up. The dancehall icon headlined Reggae Fest at Barclays Center on Saturday night, joined by Movado, Idonia, Massacre, and a stock lineup of heavy hitters. It was non-stop energy, flags flying, lyrics loud, and the whole arena moving like Kingston came to Flatbush. What's your favorite Bounty Killer song?
Look into my eyes, tell me what you see.
Can you feel the pain? Am I your enemy? Thank you.
No, the second favorite, Born as a Sufferer, Grew Up as a Sufferer.
25 years ago in Trinidad. Now I see them here in Barclays.
A Portland crowd.
After more than a decade away, Bounty Killer delivered a set that proved why he's still one of the baddest to ever do it. That's it for this week's edition of KGN Caribbean News. I'm Karesha Graham. See you next week right here where vibes meets truth and every island will eventually get the spotlight.